Well, we're talking to Allison Williams at the Bisbee Library today. Copper Queen Library, I think, is the actual name for it. But Allison, could you tell us a little bit about yourself, what your role is here at the library?
Sure. Hi, I'm Allison Williams. I'm the Library Services Coordinator for the Copper Queen Library. I've just celebrated 10 years here in my
Oh, great.
role. Jason Makoviak, our library manager, also 10 years as library manager. So I'm responsible for programs, all promotion and publicity, posters, social media, grant writing, services, and more. There's so much to do here.
Do you wash dishes too?
Occasionally, yes. So the more successful that our programs are and our services, the more we have to do, and it's just so exciting. Coming off of winning the national medal, just how many different ways we serve our community.
So it was great. Could you expand a little bit about what the award was for? It's the best small library in the United States, I think.
So we won Best Small Library in America in 2019, but in 2024 we won the National Medal for Museum and Library Service, which is the highest award in the land. And Jason and I went to Washington, D.C. to accept the award, along with a community member, and 5 libraries and 5 museums win that award.
That's really, really wonderful. And I know from talking to a lot of people and using the library a lot myself, it's wonderful to have so many programs that are available. And the Bisbee Foundation has given Friends of the Library as well through the library. I know some grants for early literacy, I believe, early learning. Could you tell us a little bit about that, how that grant money was used, maybe from the Friends?
Sure, and I'll start a little bit further back, which is that for both Best Small Library in America and the National Medal, one of the really amazing things that we did to garner those awards was we created the Copper Queen Library Annex in San Jose in what was an empty school building that was all boarded up. We got a classroom. We've since expanded to 2 classrooms. And that whole project started actually with the Bisbee Foundation doing not just a survey, but a day with kindergarten and elementary teachers from Greenway Elementary. And one of the things that came out of that was that they felt that children were not kindergarten ready. And at that was the moment when we really wanted to look at how we were reaching people, especially in the San Jose neighborhood, which has the most kids of all the neighborhoods. And when we first created the annex, with the support of the Bisbee Foundation, as well as many other grants, in fact, Freeport McMoran's grant created a job. So it was a grant-funded position, our early literacy coordinator. And we gave that position 3 years to become permanent under the city. And it only took 1 year for mayor and council and the city manager to have that become a permanent city employee.
Oh, that's really excellent. Yeah,
it's amazing.
Well, yeah, going from a grant funded to a stable funded position is really a boon because it allows somebody to have job security and be able to plan for the future.
Exactly. And for us, that we can have those resources towards early literacy, we can concentrate them more. We have a staff person whose focus is that. And we do a lot of all ages programs. That's really a good model in such a small town as Bisbee. We really like to support families so that people of all ages can come. That means parents can also participate, as well as their teen kids, as well as youngers. But with early literacy, it's really important to focus on those kids themselves. So we changed the model of our storytime programs. What I call the 20th century model is a preschool model ages 3 to 5, thinking that kids aren't ready for literacy until they're 3. We changed that model to 0 to 5 and encourage babies, babes in arms, to come to these programs. And the success has been stellar. I have to say, to watch, so part of literacy and the library is also socialization and peer support, as well as parents having peer support. So we provide a lot of resources, but creating community around these children is part of what Storytime is. So by the time they're 2, the ones who started as babies, they're walking and talking earlier. They're engaged with their friends and other adults. It's a remarkable thing. So that's one of the things I'm really, really proud of.
Well, you certainly should be. And I think that'll be it for today. But thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. I know you're going to be opening the library here in a few minutes, so I'll let you get back to it.
Thank you so much.
Well, we're with Kathy Clifton here at the Cochise County. No, it's actually the
beautiful Copper Queen
I want to say
Library.
Bisbee Library, but
No,
it
the
actually
Copper
is the
Queen
Copper
Library.
Queen Library. And Kathy is the president of the Friends of the Library, which has helped the library a lot on various kinds of things that she's going to tell us about. But first, would you talk a little bit about what your role is with the Friends of the Library?
Sure. So it's important to differentiate. As Fred said, I'm Kathy Clifton. I'm the chair of the Friends of the Library. And the Friends of the Library, our specific role is to raise funds for the library. We have a brilliant library staff that comes up with all kinds of wonderful programs and an incredible collection of books and media and digital and all kinds of stuff. But somebody has to pay for that because it's all free to the community. So that's our primary task. And our board is 11 people. They're all volunteers. They're all incredibly energetic and wonderful and talented. And it's my privilege to work with them. The way that we raise money for the library might be of interest to people. We raise money through business and personal memberships. We raise money through Spelling Bee and other fundraisers like that, which are very fun. And we raise money through grants and donations. So that's where the Bisbee Foundation comes in.
Oh, well, I was just about to ask you about that. What do you do with that money that the Bisbee Foundation has granted you?
The Bisbee Foundation, I feel very fortunate that I have prior experience with the Bisbee Foundation before I actually started.
Kathy used to be a board member.
You started with the library. Well, I wasn't going to say that, but yes.
Yeah, that's okay.
And so I can see this from both sides. And to me, one of the strengths of the Bisbee Foundation is that they work with everyone. In other words, if you're a nonprofit like we are the Friends of the Board of the library is a 501c3 nonprofit. And organizations like us can work with the Bisbee Foundation, but also individuals that have ideas for things that would be good for Bisbee or people who need scholarships. The Bisbee Foundation is there to be a partner.
This is true. Yeah, we all comers. We'll take a look at everything. We won't necessarily fund everything, but we'll take a look at everything.
Yeah, that's what's great.
Yeah.
And there are a couple of really important things that the Bisbee Foundation has done for the library. Mm-hmm. And the first one is the heavy participation, and I guess we'd call it a really excellent partnership between the library and the Bisbee Foundation on our pre-K literacy program, early childhood literacy program. Great. And we also did a campaign, a video campaign, kind of like what you're doing now, a video campaign to try to publicize the fact to parents about the importance of parental involvement in early literacy.
So reading to their kids mostly, other ways too, but reading to their kids is important.
It's very important because we're a bilingual community. We do have these programs in English and in Spanish. And so we did a series of videos showing people how they could work with their kids and play with their kids and do arts and crafts that are related to books that they can then read together. So that was a great partnership.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
so. And you said there was another way?
Well, yeah, one of our strengths, I think, as an organization and as a library is that we have an excellent Southwestern collection of books.
Ah,
And through the Bisbee Foundation and through a particular designated fund, we are given every year a sizable amount of money so that Jason can purchase Southwestern books, whether it's history or the wildlife of the Sonoran Desert
ah,
or books by local authors. So I'm guessing that anybody who's checked out any of those wonderful books has touched something that the Bisbee Foundation has given us.
oh, that's really a good way to look at
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
So anything else you want to tell us about the Friends of the Library? What do you have upcoming, or
Well,
do you have
do I
beyond?
get to plug the spelling bee even though I'm early?
You should talk about talk about the spelling bee. I happen to be involved in that a little bit myself.
You
I
were
was standing
very
bar for
involved.
the
You made
event,
everyone
and
very
it was
happy.
a really, really fun event for the first one. But tell us what you have for the next one.
Well, we're going for a bigger space for one thing. We were overflowing last year. It was our first year, but it's very fun. I would encourage people to participate. It's an adult spelling bee. It's a team event, and the sillier the better. Because we had 150 people last year as our audience. And, I think everybody's really ready to laugh these days.
Yes, it's true.
And so,
Yeah.
and so it was, it was a big success. And we did have food and drink there. And so it'll be it's always going to be the third Friday in November.
In November. Okay.
Because November's a big nonprofit month, fundraising month. And so we have to be very specific about when it is.
When you're going to do it. Yeah.
And the other thing I guess I'd like to stress is just the difference between the library and the Friends of the Library. As I said before, the Friends of the Library is a 501c3. The library is a department of the city, as you know. But the city can't accept donations.
Right.
So therefore, somebody has to. So it's our job to raise the money and then really be the stewards of the money. And we work with Jason and Allison and keep a really close eye on the budget and, invest that money and take care of it so that we can have more and more free programs for people in Bisbee.
So I'm a little unclear. Does the Friends fund some of the programs that the library offers?
Well, not all, but 90% of the programs. Yes.
What about for instance, there is a tool library from the...
Yes.
And
when Jason buys tools for the tool library, he gets that expenditure approved by us. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, that's the difference. He's the expert and he knows what they need in the tool library.
Yeah.
That's not what we do. But when we meet once a month with Jason and Allison, and we go through what their wish list is, and we pretty much say yes unless there's some, and we put together a budget as a group in the beginning of the year along with Jason and Allison. So we have everything planned for the year, and we just watch the spending and pretty much say, yes, great idea, whenever they have a great idea.
Yeah, so if they have an idea for something or they have some kind of need, they come to you, or they come to your meeting or something and say, is there some dough for this?
Yeah, that's what they say.
Oh, that's really excellent.
Yeah, so yes.
Because to me, that's one of the really impressive things about our library in a town of 5,000 people, that there is so many different kinds of programs that are offered. I mean, it seems like there's 15 to 20 different kinds of programs.
I can't go to all the programs. I try.
Yeah, I can see.
There's so much going on. And it's this is such a community center.
Yeah.
And so we have programs, again, we fund programs that are created by the library staff that appeal to everyone. There's everything from help with getting your taxes done to the tool library and the seed library. And
there's poetry. You have guest lectures come in.
We have the Arizona Arts and Humanities things. We have guest speakers. There's so many talented people in this town.
Yes, I know.
And we have musical performances, films. free
Yeah.
films. And the important point here is all of it is free.
Yeah.
All of it is free to the
That's it.
community.
Yeah, that's
So nobody is left out in this library.
well, that's good.
And that's our goal.
Yeah, and I think we'll kind of end on that note. Thank
Okay.
you very much, Kathy, for sitting down with us, taking time out of your life to tell us a little bit about the Friends of the Copper Queen Library.
My pleasure, Fred.